All right, welcome back to the Countdown to the Romans. So this is our 10 Roman facts in 10 days lead up to the publication of my new book, The Romans. This is a 2,000-year history of the Roman state from its beginning in the 8th century BC until 1204 AD. And again, what I'm really excited about in this is my chance to do something that has not been done before for a very long time, and that's to try to understand what it is that makes the Roman state survive for so long and what it is that makes the Roman state succeed in a way that other states have not. So to mark the lead up to the publication of the book, we're running a promotion where anyone who goes to basicbooks.com before October 7th of 2025 can enter this promo code Romans20 and get 20% off the price of the book. And so to kind of celebrate this, what I'm doing is 10 Roman facts in 10 days that focus on things that I thought were really cool as I was working on this book. You know, material, evidence, sites I visited, just things that I thought might be interesting as a way to really look at the incredible achievements that the Romans had in creating and maintaining this state for so long. So this is fact number 6. In the early 4th century AD, the mints of the Roman Empire produced more than 25 million coins each year. And so if you follow this channel, you know I'm actually a super, super enthusiastic Roman coin geek. I love this stuff. And so I want to give a bit of a background to understand like why that happens. So Rome began minting coins quite late for a powerful Mediterranean state. So coinage really appears like at the end of at the end of the 7th century BC. And it appears in Asia Minor. By the 5th century BC, you have really, really impressive coins being minted in Greece, really beautiful coins like the Athenian tetradrachma. Rome, even though Rome is a powerful state in those moments, it is not minting coins. Instead, what it's doing is it's circulating like pieces of bronze. Rome doesn't begin minting its own coins until really the 270s BC. And the coins it's minting then are remarkable because they're not super useful. So this is what's called an os grave, and this is it's basically one of the first minted Roman coins, and it is a bronze coin with the face of Janus on it that is equal in value to the weight of the bronze in it. So that's not a very sophisticated thing, and the only coins really that Rome is having minted at that moment are these bronze coins that actually have a value completely tied to their weight in bronze. And Rome isn't even minting them initially. They're minted by someone else, another Italian state. Uh, Eventually, Rome does start minting, sophisticated, nice coins. The denarius appears in the 210s, early last decade of the 3rd century BC. And this is a coin that is basically a Roman version of the Greek drachma. It's about 4 grams of relatively as pure silver as the Romans could do. And for most of the last 2 centuries of the Republic, these coins are minted in the city of Rome themselves. When the Roman Republic starts to break down, what we do see is generals who are fighting in these civil wars start minting coins outside of Rome. And so there are coins that are carried by their soldiers that are minted by mints that are traveling with the armies. So this is an example of this. This is a coin issued by Sextus Pompey, who is a son of the general Pompey the Great. You can see on the front of the coin a picture of Pompey. On the back, you see it identifies, that this is an issue of Sextus Pompey. And this is important because what you begin to see is there's a sense among Romans during the period of the civil wars in the 1st century BC that coins can be minted somewhere else. And it actually makes sense if you're paying your armies with Roman coins to mint those coins with your armies. And so this is something that when the civil wars end, emperors like Augustus and Tiberius decide that they're going to use mints that are closer to their armies in places like Lyon to mint some of their coins as well. By the 3rd century AD, we see that the minting of coins has also moved out to be a major thing that's done on the eastern frontier, because Rome is at that moment in the 3rd century AD fighting a lot of wars against the Persians in what's now kind of Syria and Iraq. and they want to have mints close by to where those troops are so they can pay them. The actual annual minting of Roman coins, though, it's kind of complicated in this period because many parts of the empire, even into the later part of the third century, had their own locally designed coins that were minted on a different standard and had a different sort of value than the coins minted in the city of Rome or minted by these mints in, say, Syria or Northern Europe that were connected to directly paying the troops. And this is particularly true in Egypt because Augustus had set up a system in Egypt where a separate currency circulated in Egypt. And it was a currency that did not have value in the rest of the Roman world. So an Egyptian traveling somewhere else had to change money effectively when they left Egypt. And the same was true of a Roman citizen from, say, like Spain who went to Egypt. You would need to change your Roman money for Roman issued Egyptian money to circulate and to pay for things in Egypt. But in the early 290s AD, the emperors Diocletian and Maximian decided that they were going to standardize Roman coin production. They were going to get rid of all of these local issues that were issued in places like Egypt, but also civic coinage that were issued by cities in like Asia Minor or the Balkans. And so they abolished this separate currency. They put Egypt on the same standard Roman currency as everyone else. And then they established a set of 15 mints distributed across the empire. The farthest northwest mint was London. The farthest southeast mint was Alexandria. And these mints were all supposed to issue coins of the same types and the same basic designs with the same imperial images on them. And so it's estimated that this standardization of Roman coin production led to up to 25 million coins being minted each year, starting in the 290s AD. And this really continued until basically around the year 400. Um, and so to put this into perspective, if you are looking to buy a Roman coin, you can buy a Roman coin for relatively cheap if it comes from the fourth century AD. And it is probably genuine. I mean, I can't guarantee that obviously without looking at it, but if even if you were to go onto eBay and you were to look at a coin issued by the Emperor Constantine, it could be a very nice coin in very good condition. It could cost $25 and it would probably be potentially it would be a legitimate Roman coin because so many of these were produced that they are not rare at all. If you think 25 million coins produced every year for 100 years, this is a massive, massive number of coins. Many of them are lost, but a huge number survive. Um, and so to put this into perspective, again, I mean, I think a lot of the achievements of the Roman state seem kind of abstract until we put them in a modern perspective. We don't actually have exact numbers of the coins produced by modern states before the 19th century, but it's likely that this level of production would not be exceeded by any state until really you get to around the year 1800. And to put this into like a very clear perspective, in the year 333 AD, it is quite likely that the Roman state produced more coins than the United States did in the year 1933. Now, admittedly, this is a very strange year for US coin production, but the US in 1933 minted 22,346,000 coins. Rome probably exceeded this. And so you are looking at a state with the capacities of basically a large modern state, or large sort of pre-modern, nearly modern state in its ability to mint and circulate coins. And this again gives you some real significant appreciation of not only the size of the Roman state, but the sophistication of its infrastructure and its administrative capacities. This was a very, very well organized state. And these minting activities really show that.